Welcome to Quick Stop F1. My name is Nyasha and you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. We appreciate that. And today, let's get into this second seat at Red Bull / what's going to happen with the seat at RB. I was going to call them V Cup. These guys need to stop changing their goddamn name. Nevertheless, let's get into that. But before we do, of course, remember, like the video, subscribe to the channel, all of them things there. Now, let's set the scene. So, Max Verstappen pretty much confirmed for Red Bull. We know the is he in, is he out, the will he, won't he, the holding hands and rubbing, doing footsie under the table with Toto Wolff. Before summer, that seems to have died down, and now it seems as if Toto Wolff has been caught red-handed by his missus, aka George Russell. She's gone through his phone. He's found all of those flirtatious messages to Max, and he's now in repair mode with George. And maybe we'll do a video on that. It's a shame, actually, we didn't get any quotes from George Russell this weekend at the moment because he's unwell, so he's not done any media whatsoever before the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. So that leaves us with the Red Bull seat. So we know Max is there. Earlier in the year, I think before Christian Horner left, I think they'd kind of there was strong rumours from around, I'm going to say June, July, that they were not going to confirm Yuki in place. I think even people from Honda had said that they were disappointed that Red Bull were letting Yuki go, and that, unfortunately, they can't do anything for him at Aston Martin, because essentially, you would think it was actually Honda which pretty much kept Yuki in that seat in the first place when it was kind of weren't they keep him after his first season or so. But obviously they can't do anything at Aston Martin because they've got Fernando Alonso and they've got Lance Stroll, who is never going to get fired. Let's just be very clear about that. Lance Stroll is unfireable. He is unfuckwittable, in the words of Kid Cudi. So where do we go from here with Red Bull? Max Verstappen's confirmed, Yuki Tsunoda is in place, and Yuki today has had some things to say in the drivers' press conferences and interviews. He has been quite bullish, actually, saying it doesn't matter, rumours are rumours, it's not the facts. Let them enjoy the rumours, and I will just stick with it anyway. And look, Yuki's on 12 points at the moment, and it's not been great for him at Red Bull. I think it's hard to judge Yuki Tsunoda in the second Red Bull seat. I think a lot of us who like Yuki, who support Yuki, kind of look at that situation as in it was ridiculous that they didn't put him into the seat in the first place. Obviously, they went with Liam Lawson, and that's clearly, I think Christian Horner never really wanted Yuki Tsunoda. I think it was clear Christian Horner probably didn't want Yuki Tsunoda in RB after a season. They kept him on. He kind of stayed there. He wanted to put Daniel Ricciardo in that seat before he put Yuki Tsunoda in that seat. He then realised he couldn't put Daniel Ricciardo in that seat. Liam Lawson then came in. I don't think Liam Lawson did anything in his time in that RB in the season before this one to suggest that he was ready for the step up to Red Bull, especially considering the performances Sergio Perez was putting in that car and how increasingly difficult it was looking like it was to drive that car. Nevertheless, they stick Liam Lawson in. 2 races, qualifies last both times, I think doesn't finish both times, and I mean, what at that point, what can you do? They get him out. They put Yuki in. So not only does Yuki not get the testing period, and look, when you do testing, how much time do you actually get in these cars? Would you get like potentially 9 hours? 9 hours? Is it 12 hours essentially that you might get over a course of the testing weekend? So how long is testing? It's 8 hours. 8 hours times 3. Yeah, so 12 hours. So 12 hours he would get in a car. Not exactly an incredible amount of time, but it would have helped. And then they chuck him in mid-season. The car is clearly difficult to drive. There's rumours that they've not even given him the same car as Max Verstappen. So let's say this, you get chucked in mid-season. Let's say you're Yuki Tsunoda, right? You get chucked in after 2 races. The car is dog to drive in the first place. You don't even have the same car as the world champion, who is, of course, in a league of his own anyway in terms of driving. So it results, you're on a hiding to nothing, really. Then you're fighting for the rest of your career. There's nowhere else on the grid for him to go if it doesn't work out at Red Bull. Maybe there's a lifeline thrown in the fact that Lauren Mekies comes in, gives him parts that he wasn't having before. We see a slight upturn in performance, but we're not seeing that consistent performance that Red Bull are looking for. And therefore, it looks like, if you're a betting man, it looks like Yuki Tsunoda is not going to be in that seat next year, unless on the back end of this season, he puts in some performances. He's got an opportunity now to start that. I guess, Yuki Tsunoda has a mini season. In the words of Alex Ferguson, it is squeaky bum time for Yuki Tsunoda. Can he, in these last few races down the stretch, flyaways all over the world? We're in Europe, we're going to America, we're going to Asia, we'll go to the Middle East. Can he, over four continents, can he or 4 regions, let's say, not 4 continents, but can he make it work? Let's see. It's tight for man, I'm not gonna lie. Respectfully, it's like, if you're Yuki Tsunoda, I'm not gonna lie, like, if I'm a betting man, I don't think he's going to be in that seat. And look, to be fair, Helmut Marko has come out and said that, he's denied that they've decided to promote Isack Hadjar. He says, no, we're still taking our time with that decision. We'll watch the next races carefully, then we'll make a decision. And look, Red Bull have that kind of freedom where essentially they could put anyone in these cars. They don't, they have a pool of drivers. They're all contracted to Red Bull. They're all unable to talk to other teams until the point that they are let go. And then they are allowed to negotiate with other teams. So they've got drivers that they can bring in. You look at the driver market now, who would they really put in outside of the Red Bull pool? Who could they really put into that team? They've kind of committed the RB team to be a team purely for the youth drivers, or like the young drivers. So that rules those seats out. So you're looking at experienced drivers on the grid. Everyone's pretty much locked in. Who's going to go and be a second driver? Bottas has kind of gone to Cadillac, so that option has kind of been taken away. Sergio Perez, obviously they did not want Sergio Perez. So who can they even bring in if they wanted an experienced head? And maybe if I'm Red Bull, genuinely, I'm trying to think now on the grid, an experienced driver that I can bring in who would be like someone that could be dependable to get you the feedback you need with this new engine, with these new regulations. They're almost like a new team, essentially, making their own engines. I just don't think there's anyone out there that fits that description. And I think if there was someone out there that fit that description, we would be seeing rumours of them going to Red Bull at this moment in time. So that leaves the one, the only Prince of Team LH, our son, your son, Isack Hadjar, who even himself laughed off the rumours linking him to Red Bull. If you remember, a couple of weeks ago, they pretty much said it had been confirmed. Isack Hadjar says, you think when I'm in the car, I'm thinking about all of these rumours in the paddock? I have other problems to deal with. He said, don't miss me with that bullshit, Isack Hadjar said. And look, Isack Hadjar, I've said this before and I'll say this again. I know he does not want to go to that Red Bull car. That is career suicide, going to that Red Bull team. He's scared shitless of it. Any other driver would be like, we've seen them. in time, when other drivers are being asked about going to Red Bull, they was like, I love the opportunity. I think I'm ready for the opportunity. I need that opportunity. Isack Hadjar has sidestepped the opportunity to go to Red Bull at all times. He is Team LH coded. I don't even think he wants to be Max's teammate, bro. That's how deep he doesn't want to drive for Red Bull. So, in all, that second Red Bull seat, it's an insane situation to think that a race-winning car has a seat and no one is vying to go into that seat. No one is politicking to go into that seat. If anything, I've just had a thought now. If anything, if I was Red Bull, I would be knocking on Carlos Sainz's door right now. Swallow your pride. Get Carlos Sainz in that second seat and just have a dependable driver. He's not enjoying it at Williams. He hates it there. This guy went from fucking linguine, fucking risotto to bangers and mash. He doesn't want to be at Williams. He's getting his ass kicked by Alex Albon. He's running around in the midfield. He thinks he's better than where he is, and unfortunately, he's not. However, is he someone that you could depend on to give you a base level of performance in that car? I don't see, unless the rumours are true that Sainz Senior and Jos Verstappen have such a toxic relationship that having them in the same garage is not something that could be that could happen. Then honestly, I would keep, if I was Red Bull, I would put Sainz in that seat. I would keep Hadjar in the RB, allow him to develop more. That red RB seat is perfect for him to develop. I'd keep him there for another season, maybe even another 2 seasons. Bring him into the team as the finished product. You have a number one driver that's going to be your number one driver for as long as you give him a car capable of winning races. He's not going anywhere unless Mercedes do end up poaching him. So why rush Isack Hadjar? Keep him, grow him, nurture him. This burning through drivers, nearly killing people's careers that they're doing at Red Bull is just not sustainable. And I would hate it if Isack Hadjar was someone whose career got burnt by Red Bull purely because they don't know how to handle young talent anymore. And I just think, and look, to be fair, they chucked Vettel in at the deep end. Look what happened. They chucked Ricciardo in at the deep end. That worked for a while. And they chucked Verstappen in at the deep end. That also worked for a while. So there are success stories at Red Bull Racing. And look, let's not act like a large portion of the grid have come from the Red Bull Racing program. However, I just think that they've made some weird driver decisions in recent years. Nick De Vries after one race, what the fuck was that? Promoting Liam Lawson into Red Bull after half a season, not even half a season, like a quarter of a season. What the fuck was that? Like, guys, let's be guided here. You do not have to burn through drivers. I would hate to see Isack Hadjar go there if that is what's going to happen. But look, it doesn't matter what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this, like the video, subscribe to the channel, all of them things there. I'll see you tomorrow for some content post the Azerbaijan practice sessions. I think it's going to be a snooze fest. But who knows? Who knows? It could be exciting. Hopefully someone yeets it into the wall on Sunday and we get some kind of safety car. Nevertheless, let's see and let's all enjoy it together. And until then, remember, no matter what life throws at you, keep it on the black stuff. Until next time, take care.